This is one of the smallest full-frame film cameras ever built, and it can still be had for a bargain price. But before you jump the gun, you should find out all about its imperfections. Today, that imperfect camera is the Fujifilm Tiara, or Tiara II, or DL Super Mini. They're essentially the same. And my God, is it imperfect. But I still kind of love it, so let's find out why. First, a little bit about the camera itself. The Tiara is a high-end point-and-shoot film camera released in 1994. It has a very sharp 28mm f3.5 lens, which is generally bright enough for whatever I do with it. Dropping in a roll of film is dead simple with its drop-in film loading, hence the DL in one of its three names. But I always feel like I'm missing a step or two, because you're just not used to it, so I still feel like I'm messing it up. The Tiara takes a CR2 battery, which lasted me so many rolls that I kind of stopped counting, but I think I'm at about 10 rolls and the indicator started blinking. On the back, you can cycle through its different modes using its flash button. The flash, as per usual, on these older cameras has to be forced off every time you turn the camera back on. You don't have all that much control. It's a point and shoot after all, but with the little backlight mode, the black sun button on the back, you can compensate your exposure by +2 stops, which is quite a lot actually. Half pressing the shutter will confirm autofocus with the little green LED on the back, which is quite convenient, and you can also use that to focus and recompose. If that little green LED is blinking, that means that your camera is in a blind panic and whatever you're taking pictures of will be out of focus. The thing is though, I never noticed it blinking, so it's kind of, I guess it's operator error. Anyway, there is a way around that autofocus issue because these cameras have zone focusing. You can actually select it here on the back and you can select the different distances that you want the camera to focus on, ranging from 35 centimeter, or roughly 1 foot, to infinity, which is many foots. One more focusing mode that I should clearly use more often is the snap mode. That mode puts everything from 1.5 meters or 5 feet to 3 meters or 10 feet in focus, which is honestly very helpful and would have saved me a lot of blurry shots. Oh, and yes, there is a panorama mode. It's crap. Just forget about it. All right, that's it for core functions of the Tiara. Now let's start with some things that I like about it. Well, first, the looks of the camera. I mean, it looks kind of nice. And mine's even a bit banged up with like a dent at the front and peeled off stickers on the back from some now undoubtedly middle-aged teenager. But overall though, I love the looks of it. It looks quite premium with its all aluminium kind of Bauhausy minimalist style. It's nice. I also really like the Tiara for its everyday use. I think it's the camera I've taken on most trips in recent years. But also it's just a fun little camera to pick up and shoot with. I think it's because it has just enough functions to keep you entertained as a professional, aspiring hobby holiday photographer. The final and perhaps the most important like on the list is I just really like the quality of the pictures that come out of it when they're in focus. The lens produces nice, sharp, contrasty images and are generally perfectly exposed. It does have pretty strong vignette, but I kind of like a bit of vignetting. So those are some of the things that I like, but it's not all silky shutters and creamy bokeh. First of all, the handling of the camera. It's not fantastic. The aluminium build is great, but it also makes it feel more slippery than an eel bathing in darkroom chemicals. And its microscopic dimensions, without any sort of grip, always makes me feel like I'm gonna drop it. Autofocus is pretty good in most situations, but kind of unacceptable in one particular situation. You really do need to pay attention with portraits or honestly any shot with people in it. I mean, I know I should use the snap mode more often, but then I have to think about it, I have to change it, and then I'm no longer pointing and shooting, and what's the point? And then there's the flash. Okay, it's auto flash, fine. All of these 90s cameras are auto flash, but somehow with the Tiara, the auto flash is particularly intrusive. even in the brightest conditions, when never in a million light years you expect it to flash, it does. It always does. Right, now onto the build quality. It's a bit of a weird one. It feels sturdy mostly. I mean, it's aluminium, you know, it's a sturdy camera, and let's be honest, it's survived for 30 years, so who am I to judge? But despite the sturdy build, it still feels a bit flimsy. And there's also the use of plastic in kind of vital spots, like the top cover, which came off. I had to super glue it back on. Or the battery cover is also plastic, which is why I think on eBay, most of the times when you see this one for sale, the battery cover is missing. But that's it for dislikes. So imperfections, yes. Sometimes a little bit infuriating, also very much yes. But you know, is it still a favorite despite its very apparent flaws? Absolutely. So what I paid for it, roughly 200 euros back in 2021. I think that was a bargain. Anything more today, I think, you know, upper limit would be for me would be 250. Now finally, I'll score the Fuji Tiara on the gas meter. That is a wildly scientific, subjective camera rating system that precisely measures how fast you should run to your local thrift shop to spend your hard-earned cash. For me, the Fuji Tiara scores an 8 out of 10 for the metal build, super compact size, and you know, you can take really good pictures with this little camera. Alternative cameras to consider would be the Olympus XA4, and for the billionaires among us, maybe the Minolta TC1. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe.